Hello there friends, and welcome back to Space Engineers. The previous video has done very well, admittedly somewhat overwhelmingly well, and so I've had to record this intro about 17 times. But screw it, this is the final take. If I mumble and I stumble, c'est la vie. First off, a huge and genuine, heartfelt thank you to all the new people who came through to like, comment, and subscribe while watching the previous video. It was unbelievably encouraging, so much so that I was actually making notes about this video while I was at work today. I'm sure my boss wouldn't be very happy to hear about that, but thankfully we're still really small, so that's just a little secret between you and I, okay? Unemployment is somewhat of a meme, but it is unfortunately not particularly sustainable. I do have actually 3 jobs in real life, and they do sometimes take away time from the channel. So, in keeping with tradition, I'm going to aim to post 3 of these episodes a week. Sometimes it'll be a little bit more if I've got time, and sometimes it'll be a little bit less if I don't. I received dozens of comments and corrections on the previous episode, which we'll be dealing with over the course of this one, so keep an eye out for yours. I think the most valuable of which, though, was very much the color coding. Let's go sort that out right away. And kersplat. Ow. Alright, so I need to look at this block over yonder. I need to press Shift P to grab the color. Oh, there we go. And then middle mouse click to paint it. There is hope. There is hope for this playthrough yet. And paint, and paint. Paint, paint. There we go. Now we can finally play the game. Okay, next up on the agenda is going to be naming this beautiful beast over here. I received over 100 suggestions within 16 hours, which is, quite honestly, a little overwhelming, but I really do appreciate the amount of interest and enthusiasm that went into some of them. They're all really good, but unfortunately we can only choose one. Excuse me, I do not wish to climb on the walls. I am not a Spider-Man, I am a spaceman. Before we settle on a final location here, though, we are going to go through some honorable mentions, because man, there was some good ones. Okay, so this is not in any particular order. Now, most of the ship names followed a similar theme. They were on the idea that this ship had saved our life, and my favorite one from that batch was the Salvation, which is a fun little play on words, right? Another group of them focused on the fact that we don't have any reverse thrusters, and Runaway Express was this is really good. On the more serious note, we had a suggestion that was Constantine's Bounty, which is a really clever name. It's the name of the captain on that captain's log we read. This was his ship, after all, the one that we've now gone ahead and commandeered. But Constantine's Bounty that's a really solid suggestion. Then, of course, and I'll be honest with you, this was a very close contender, was Shift P, so that I never forget how to copy the colors again. Oh, that would have been really good. And last but not least on the honorable mention spectrum is Gavin. Just, you know, just Gavin. Just this little guy named Gavin. However, I think I would be remiss if I did not name it the Not Fit for Purpose, which is just so good. There we go. Everybody, please meet the BBZ Not Fit for Purpose. Because, man, if that doesn't just describe this ship, then I don't know what does. I also made a couple of minor mistakes in my speech in the previous one. Made some statements, some accusations, some allegations that were unfounded and libelous in nature. The first of which being that the assembler over here switches between automated deconstruction or disassembling and assembling, which is actually just incorrect. I'm so used to playing with Izzy's inventory manager, which has that functionality built into it, that I just assumed it was vanilla at this point. So no, this thing does not switch between assembling and disassembling as needed. Very much not. You have to manually do it, and that's what I kept running. That's why I kept sort of trying to make stuff on the disassembling page, and it wasn't switching. Yeah, Izzy's handles that pretty well. Now, the second statement that I have been slandered for making involves this O2H2 generator and the way it consumes ice. I've actually gone ahead and made a little test scenario for this, so enjoy that. Okay, here we are on the test bed. We're going to be testing out my hypothesis about the O2H2 generator that I presented in the previous episode. My statement was simple. I said that if you run an O2H2 generator, when you have no place to store oxygen or hydrogen, you're going to waste some of the ice. Basically saying that if we ran an O2H2 generator straight into an oxygen tank, we only produce oxygen. If we run it straight into a hydrogen tank, we only produce hydrogen. If we run it straight into both, we use the same amount of ice to produce the same amount of gas for each. Now, to test this hypothesis, I've designed a very simple experiment. We have an O2 to H2 generator attached to each tank over here, and as you can see, this one's attached to a pair of tanks. This one's going straight to oxygen, this one only produces hydrogen, and this one should produce both. Inside each of the O2H2 generators, I have put 2,000 kgs of ice, exactly 740 liters to be precise. What we're testing for here is whether or not it's going to put the same amount of gas in all of these tanks. If it does, then I'm correct. If it doesn't, then I'm wrong and I've misunderstood how this works. So let's go ahead and turn it on. You'll see the O2H2 generators are currently switched off. Number 1 is for the oxygen tank, and we'll watch the tank fill up as it works. So as we turn this guy on, we'll see the O2 tank fill up, and we should see the inventory over here decrease. Okay, there we go, 20%, nice and easy. It's good to know that 2,000 ice produces 20% of a tank of oxygen. I didn't know that the ratios were that direct, but I'll take it. It's almost exactly 20,000 liters. That's just good data on its own, I suppose. Well, now we should go ahead and run the hydrogen generator to do the same test over there. Let's just confirm, yes, we have 2,000 kgs of ice chilling in there, and we'll be keeping an eye on hydrogen tank 2. Okay, let's go ahead and turn this one on. Okay, there we go. Our hydrogen tank has filled up to 4%. This is unfortunately not a particularly good test because the tanks do not have like volumes. This will produce 40,000 liters of gas, which is actually almost exactly double what the oxygen tank produced, which is interesting. I also know that the oxygen tank has an internal capacity of 100,000 liters, while the small hydrogen tank has 1,000,000 liters. So yeah, I think the number we should look at over here, rather than the percentage, is the actual volume of gas produced. So this is just about double what the oxygen produced, which kind of makes sense, right? H2O. So I think that that's actually pretty useful data on its own as well. 2,000 kgs of ice will produce just under 40,000 liters of hydrogen. And I imagine if we ran this a few times, we'd see some variance in that number. I think that's probably just the way the calculation's done. I think there's some rounding down going on. Anyway, let's go ahead and turn this off. And now the final test, of course, which is going to be to watch oxygen tanks 3 and hydrogen tanks 3. If these fill up to the same volumes as these two tanks, then I'm right. If they don't, if it is like half the value it should be, then I've completely misunderstood it and the comment section was wrong. Place your bets now as to who's gonna win. Alright, O2 Tank 3 is filling up very quickly, and Hydrogen Tank 3 is filling up at the exact same time. This would give me faith that we are going to be filling them both up to the same amount, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Now, I can't click on both, so we'll just watch the oxygen tank. Oh no! Oh no, the comments were completely and entirely right. It is at half what it should be, it is at 10%, and the hydrogen tank is at 2%, exactly half, well not exactly, again, actually surprising amount of variance in that number, but around half of what it produced in this tank over here. So comment section, congratulations, you have defeated me in Mortal Kombat. I have been crushed in the marketplace of ideas, and you were completely correct, it doesn't matter. It does not matter whether or not you burn ice to produce oxygen or hydrogen, it will produce the same amount of ice will produce a set amount of either gas. Doing it at the same time just sort of spreads it out. It means you don't run out of ice before you produce some gas that you want, but it's also at the same time not necessary to put down the infrastructure to do both. It's not critical. I mean, no reason not to do it, but I think that, I'll take the L, the LU that is, and if you enjoyed this little test bed, then let me know and we'll do some more of these. Maybe we can squeeze one into every couple episodes. I think that would be cool to see. What else what other space engineers myths do you guys want to see tested and busted? God knows I've got my own series of misconceptions, as we've proven today. Anyway, thank you for hanging out, and here's the rest of the episode. It is with a heavy heart that I must admit the comment section was correct. There you go. There's a free toe pick for you. Damn it, you win. It was not necessary to build both of these things before we put the ice in there. It is nice to be stockpiling a little bit of oxygen while we had the generator running, and when we had a limited amount of ice, it was probably necessary. But now that we've got a functionally infinite reserve, it is very much not necessary. So no. We now know for certain, and we got some other interesting data, but we now know for certain that the O2H2 generator will work just fine whether or not you've got two tanks or one, and that's just something you can take home with you. There was also a small minority of people with some genuine complaints and concerns, and realistically they're probably not even watching the second episode, but I'll address them here anyway, just in case they were scratching at the back of your mind too. The first one, and I think by far and away the most frustrating for me, was the complaint that I captured the ship too early, that we didn't have an early grind up to success. And while I can understand that, from a narrative perspective, it is probably a bit more interesting to see some suffering before the success. I also feel like, you know what, we had to do quite a bit of we had to do a little bit of engineering, right, to make this thing work. I had to find all the components to make the assembler and the refinery. It required quite a bit of in-game knowledge to know what to prioritize and what to ignore. And so no, while I do completely understand where you're coming from, I don't think that that's a fair criticism to level against this particular series. However, I do understand the appeal of wanting to see that. And as such, I've got another series planned right now, which will do exactly what you're describing. An even more insane start, where we don't even start with the damn grinder. That would definitely address those grindy concerns, and if that's the sort of thing you're looking forward to, well, subscribe and stay tuned, because it'll be coming fairly shortly, I hope. Now, I would be lying to you if I said the second set of complaints didn't hurt my feelies just a little bit. Some people felt that the fact that this ship was just there when we spawned in and didn't shoot at us was a little bit sus. Amogus. But my plans for this ship today will begin, much like all good things do, with a checklist. We need to make a couple of LCDs so that I can keep track of all the stuff I've got to do. Another idea I'm stealing blatantly from Mad Maven. Truly one of the best space engineers, content creators out there. By the way, points to anybody who noticed the 7 or 8 times in the previous episode I almost said stationeers instead of space engineers. I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a little bit more of that. Or rather, a lot more of that going forward. The stationeer's mind virus cannot be avoided, unfortunately. It is so unbelievably addictive, that game. I'd say this is probably a close second for me.
Energy low.
Oh, your mom's low. Shut up. First up, to do. What do we got to get done today? We want to grind down that large railgun. Next, we're going to need to connect the containers, the big cargo containers, to the main ship. Then we're going to need to build a conveyor network. And once that's all piped up, finally, we'll need a hydrogen tank and some thrusters. We'll then need to upgrade our refinery and assembler. And we'll want to run a script to manage our inventories. And then just to make it feel like we've actually done something today, I'm going to add an entry down here that just says rename ship. There we go. Pat yourself on the back, kid. You did something. Look at it. Look at it. We've done so much already. Aren't you proud of me now, Mom? Well, let's get to the first point of order. This thing. The reason the ship didn't shoot at me, though, I think, is because the weapons it had were all too large caliber. I don't think they target player models. They're gigantic. The next time something red spawns in, I will drop off all my stuff and fly towards it and see if it shoots at me. If it doesn't, then yes, indeed, we do have a mod conflict, and I'll have to address that. If it does, then we just got really lucky. So I guess we'll find out together when that happens. Anyway, I need to feel like I've achieved something today, so I am going to go and mark off over here that we have ground down the railgun. It's essential work. Essential work. As you can see, we're going on maybe a little bit too much detail here, to be completely honest. But there we go. Next up, let's go ahead and connect those cargo containers. I think I've got a cunning plan for this one. So the merge blocks in Space Engineers turn 2 grids into 1. And that means they also then are aligned to the same grid space. So if I just do that, I should be able to cut this off and not have them fall down. However, I'm not certain about that. So we're going to do a little bit of a test run on this side. There's nothing of any particular value inside these containers. And if I screw it up, we can just build a little ship to pick it up. Let's see if this works. Okay, so with that on there, I should, and I repeat again, should be able to do this. It has not fallen off. Let's go. Okay, we are still one vessel. If we came in right underneath this battery, we might have some luck, as there's already a conveyor over there. This is a thruster. Yes, this is a thruster. What's over here? Watch me cut the side off the ship now by mistake. It looks like it's connected in more than one place. I think we can cut through that. Okay. So I want to go underneath this point. What does that look like on the ship itself? Looks like we got a bit of bulk we can work with here. Okay, let's try this first. Maybe this is the better play. Okay, that did indeed work. If we go through here, we can connect up to that port over there, which I think is actually going to work a lot better for me than my other plan. Okay, let's get that set up. I'm going to need a conveyor over here, which goes up and across along here, and then up and then into this, and then we'll do the same in the other direction. All right, let's get this set up. I'm going to need a lot of interior plates. Okay, we'll put a conveyor down first. Right over there, and then I'll need a junction over here. And we're gonna have to build this thing up piece by piece from first principles. I did a little bit of scouting in between episodes, and yes indeed, we've got some iron right here on our home asteroid. It's gonna take a little bit of a while to make all those conveyor parts, and this should really speed it up, I hope. Okay, there we go. Great success. Look at that. We've got a completely linked up power system, and now the iron is going into there. Sorry, not power system, conveyor system. What are you talking about, Largy? What are you talking about? All right, so now we can cut that off, and then we can replace this with a pair of blocks, and I think we'll steal the color for this one. There we go. And we can now bridge this gap. Finally. Oh, that feels good. Okay, cool. So now that is one contiguous piece of ship. We'll make it all pretty at some other point, but for now, let's just focus on the functionality, I think. Okay, cool. What is next on the agenda for the not fit to purpose? Well, I suppose but the whole point of the series at this point is making the ship fit for purpose. Very apt name in the end. Very apposite. Alright, so let's start over here. We have successfully connected the cargo containers and built a conveyor network. Alright, maybe there's a little bit too much fidelity in this checklist, but you know what? I'm feeling successful. Look at all the numbers going up. Okay, next up we need a hydrogen tank and some reverse thrusters, as well as a bunch more ice, I suppose, to make it all work. Let me charge up and then we'll go do that. I think it's also time we fixed our door. Yeah, there we go. That's been a long time coming, let's be honest. Okay, so hydrogen tank, huh? Well, we've got all this set up. I actually would kind of like to put down a catwalk right here, I think. This would just, you know, make it a little bit easier to walk through here, considering the lack of a gravity generator. Anyway, we'll even make it the right color. Look at that. Isn't that fancy? We don't actually have to weld this up. I'm just going to leave it like that for the moment. But that will let us traverse this space at least. And then I suppose, you know what, we can grab a couple more of these. And, no, never mind, we can't. We can do that. And then we can just put down a pair of these over here so we can walk over. We'll weld it up in the future. Okay, so we now have connection points over here. And over here, I'd love to stick a hydrogen tank in here somewhere as well. And I mean, this space works, I guess, but it's not really ideal. The best place to put it, I think, because I want to put some hydrogen thrusters out front as well. I think the best place to put it is probably going to be somewhere that, maybe we could even just replace a couple of these with it. Yeah, I think we're going to have to get kind of clever with our resources for now. Much like we did in the first episode, I guess. And this is going to become a hydrogen tank. And I suppose for the sake of symmetry, we could do two. It would be nice to have a little bit of extra fuel on here, wouldn't it? Oh my goodness, we actually managed to do it. Now, we don't have any ice to put it here just yet. But that's a secondary problem. We could, and this is a little ballsy, we could just slap a drill right over here and use that to mine directly. It would be a lot faster. Okay, you've convinced me. I'm going to move my basic assembler over here. Well, first I'm going to move all the resources out of it, but I'm going to move that basic assembler somewhere else. Okay, so we can just slap you on like so. Is that the correct orientation? Oh, first try. Let's go. Alright, let's weld this lad in, and then we've at least got our assembler back together. And then we can just stick a drill on that, and then I think we're just going to do some super jank mining for the moment. Okay, take me to my O2 tank. Thank you. Excuse me? What do you mean small hydrogen tank? Is there not a 2 in O2? Oh, it's oxygen, isn't it? That's how it's spelled. That's how real people... Yeah, that's how normal people spell things. There we go. Okay, we cracked the code. Full bottle of oxygen. Ain't nobody suffocating on my watch. Okay, put a drill right over there. This is going to be the most jank thing of my career. You weld in what you've got. You weld in what else you've got. And you look at what else you're missing. Put it all in production. And you pray. What are we missing? 4 large steel tubes? It's crazy. He's done it. Okay, well now we have access to functionally infinite resources. There's
slightly terrifying fact, of course, that this ship cannot break. So maybe, hear me out, maybe we get the thruster put on this side first.
Yeah, I think that's a I think that's a good idea. Otherwise, we're just gonna have to brake by crashing. I mean, it works for F1 drivers. Why not us, right?
Okay, we now at least have the ability to brake. Whether or not we have the fuel for it remains to be seen, and I think the answer is actually a clear no. Okay, fly over here. We land in the back, and we try very hard not to die. So, give me my block tools. Give me the drill. Put that right over there. Okay, we now have a drill. It do be spinning. Unfortunately, we are in the darkness a little bit. Okay, just try not to clip the refinery into the floor. You're doing great, sweetie. Keep it up. All right, I do note that we are floating away, and I've lost the block. The ship is literally falling apart. Okay, angle me down. Oh, we definitely need to put this on a piston. This isn't gonna work. Okay, but for now, just give me some ice. There we go. He got some ice, which means that we should see that thruster turn on in a second. We have reports from the ground. We have not seen the thruster turn on. Show me O2H2 generator. He's getting a little bit of ice. I think I know what's happening, which is that it's all going into... I reckon it's all just ending up inside that hydrogen engine. If I look at my hydrogen tank, yeah, they're empty. Okay, so hydrogen engine. We're going to turn you off for a little bit, okay? There we go. Okay, cool. We now have... Oh my god, look at this. Look at this. Monumentous day. We have reverse thrust. Reverse thrust is not a myth. I have it. Okay. Just a little bit scuffed, though. We will persevere. Okay, name the ship the Perseverance, because we're not giving up just yet. Yeah, look, this is not a suitable mining situation. I think this ship mining directly makes very little sense. I think the best way we can do it, and the way we're probably going to do it, is just to build a dedicated little miner. Because we don't have access to the thrusters, we'll have to use hydrogen for it, so it'll need its own O2H2 generator and its own batteries and whatnot, but that's okay. That's okay. If we have a fleet of little ships working off the main ship, I think we're going to be in a very good place long term. Yeah, and this definitely either needs to just stick out in front of the nose cone or just be put on a piston or two. And I'm thinking piston or two is probably the way. Let's just get a little bit of iron into the refinery now, so that we've got everything we need to make that piston. And I reiterate, flying this ship is very much like, it's like throwing a ball down a hallway and then just really hoping it ends up where you want it to be. It is so incredibly erratic and cumbersome. There, yes, mine the eye. Okay, hold on, little depth perception is a little hard on the screen. Okay, turn. Yes, now mine the iron, my pretty. Oh, we shall feast upon the red goodness. Okay, 32,000 iron. Well, actually, that's, let's make it even more. Let's say 32,000 iron's enough. I lied. I changed my mind. Call me a hypocrite if you must. Beat me up, call me fat, break my kneecaps, do it all. Just mock me in the group chat, because I'm getting even heavier. Now look, of course, with every kilogram we add to the ship, whether of inventory or of constructed blocks, we do make it even more cumbersome to use. But you know what? Those are problems for later, and I'm not smart enough for later. I do want to go check out that red Wrangler at some point, though. That would be, I think that'll be interesting to see. Oh, could you listen? I get it, okay? I get it. It's a tight squeeze. You'll be fine. Just breathe.
Let's sort this out. I think first and foremost, though, I think the priority is very much going to be a better refinery and assembler, and then, very importantly, a med station. Or a survival kit. Whatever comes first. Yeah, I'm going to start off by removing the drill. There's nothing in here, right? No, okay. We start off by removing the drill, and we're going to put down another thruster over here. I think this is probably more important to the survival of this ship than the drill is. At least for now. Okay, I think the best spot to put the refineries is probably going to be underneath the ship. I was initially tempted to put it up on top because it would look kind of cool, but I'm thinking the space back here makes the most sense. We're going to have to move the antenna, but that's okay. It's not doing much anyway. Let's move the antenna to the top of the ship. I think we can fit it in right over here quite comfortably. Right over here. Okay, there we go. The not fit for purpose antenna 2 is now up and running. Alright, lovely. We are, of course, broadcasting at the moment, which might attract reavers. You got to be really careful with what you put out in there. So we're still going to turn that off for the moment. There we go. Oh, you know what we could do? We could just limit the broadcast radius so we can see it, but the enemies can't, maybe. Let's put it like 500 meters for now. That should be fine. So as long as we can just get close to the ship, right? And then also, we should really rename the ship. There we go. This is the not fit for purpose. Perfect. All right, I think with the antenna up top, we can now squeeze the refineries in under here. And yes, that looks like it's going to work to me. All right, let's see where the connection point is, because that's going to be the real stickler here. We needed to connect up with that cargo container, and it's on the top corner there? Yeah, it looks like it is. So put that over there, and then we can put the modules over on the side. Okay, it fit nicely too. And then give me the advanced assembler. That's going to be the next piece we need in this particular puzzle. Is the connector here or here? I'm looking at the graphic. I'm thinking it's on the top. And looking at the model, yes, indeed, it is at the top. Okay. He's the best to ever do it. And I imagine the best orientation for the connections will be to the sides for now. Okay, let's put this thing together piece by piece, shall we? We're going to have 90% of the steel plates we need, just from those gun turrets. That was a very nice, easy shortcut, wasn't it? All right, look at that. We've even got everything we need to make a large refinery right away. That's pretty cool, man. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, it's going to take 16 years to weld this, but you know what? We're doing our best.
Energy critical.
Okay, we need to land and get a little bit of juice back in this suit, because I'm about to take damage. Run! There we go. Whew, just in time. Maybe I should keep some of those power packs on me. Alright, we're just producing the last of those computers, and then we'll have the more advanced assembler built, and then I think it's worth putting together an inventory manager. Weld. How do you do? Alright, this is a pretty massive boost to productivity right here. Now, the most important thing, I think, in my opinion, is that we can now disassemble those huge shells. Let's pull apart that HE ammo and see what we get out of it. 256 iron and 15 cobalt. The cobalt we can use to make grids, so that's pretty nice. And then I think we had like 3 and 4, or maybe the other way around, of this AP and HE ammo. And that's going to give us even more cobalt coming in. Oh, yes, please. And then I've also, of course, got all those railgun rounds, and we're just going to process all of them down into scrap as well. And this even gives us some uranium. Oh, man, that's huge. That's super huge. We should see this thing process the silver. Yes, it has. Okay, which means I can now order up 1 large survival kit, please. Make it for me. Oh, no, don't disassemble the survival kit. We're going to make the survival kit. All right, I think I'm going to let this continue to process. Oh, having that uranium is going to be so unbelievably helpful. I didn't know that the railguns held that. It might be worth raiding enemy ships just for that. But okay, make me a survival kit.
Energy low.
The real kicker here is the medical components, and it looks like it's going to be able to do it. Excellent. All right, and then this right over here is actually a pretty good spot to put a survival kit. If we didn't have any of those... very sideways. I think I'm walking on the desk, yeah. You know what? This will be fine, too. It's not plumbed in, but we can fix that later. For now, I mostly just want the respawn. Because, yeah, the fear of death is great with this one, let me tell you. Can't withdraw a medical component. What's wrong? We need more nickel. Of all things, we need more nickel. I'm just gonna have to go dig up some stone, I guess.
You come to me on the day of my daughter's wedding,
Inventory
and you say you need more nickel. The disrespect, it's harming me.
Man, I need to actually watch The Godfather at some point, huh? Because that was almost certainly categorically wrong. Come on, space engineers. The people demand carnage. I need to fly over to that ship and see if I'm the fraud they think I am. Come on, drop it off. Drop it off. I have a reputation to uphold, or rather a lack thereof. Where do the stone be? Okay, stones are... Oh, we have 22,000 stone just chilling from the drill? Alright, well that'll do the nickel. There we go. Just feed that into the refinery and let it work on that for now.
energy critical.
And indeed it is cooking up. Okay. It is cooking up. Now, the benefit to plumbing the survival kit into your conveyor network, which we'll find a way to do it at some point. In fact, it might just replace... In fact, why doesn't it just replace this conveyor right over here? It'll be a bit janky to walk over it, but that shouldn't be a problem long term. In fact, yeah, I think that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay, pick this up and put it over here. And then we'll just Shift P. Feel like a genius. The technology. We'll just fit this right in here. Hey, look at that. Non-suffocating unlocked. We're the best to ever do it. Oh, no, never mind. We're actively dying. But hey, look at that. We can recharge right over here, my dudes. There we go. And I can actually heal. Oh, okay. There's hope for this playthrough yet. Honestly, that little silver patch on the first asteroid came in so clutch. I cannot. Oh, we've just been getting so lucky. It's going to run out at some point, man. But until it does, you better believe I am going to make the most out of it. All right, as promised, my dear kitchen, you're being replaced next. Yes, art. Beautiful art. All righty, we are almost done with our to-do list for today. We have upgraded our refinery and assembler, and we have built ourselves a survival kit. And I'm going to take MedStation off the picture there. MedStation is better in every way. We just need, more resources to make it happen. Okay, final piece of today's puzzle is going to be to run a script to manage everything, and I think I'm going to repurpose this spot right over here for that. Okay, programmable block goes right in there. These are unbelievably useful assets. I need to get rid of that catwalk, man. This is so janky. I think it was better when it wasn't welded. But there we go. I think we'll put some glass down instead. But for now, programmable block. There we go. Alright, so this thing over here, this is going to run a singular mod. This is going to run Izzy's Inventory Manager, and I'm going to finish setting this up as the rest of my work for today. So we're going to scroll down. We're going to use Izzy's Inventory Manager. We're going to copy that to editor, check the code. It should compile. Okay, run it, and bada bing, bada boom. Izzy's is now running. So what you'll see is it's going to go ahead and start tagging all of our various cargo containers. I might have to show them. We should see them. Small cargo container. There we go. It's tagged them. So now it's storing ores and ingots in this one. It's storing components in this one. It's storing tools and ammunition and bottles in this one. Okay, yeah. It first got sent to the hydrogen tank and then got put in there. Nice. Okay. So now what's the benefit of running Izzy's? Well, Izzy's balances your refineries for you. So now instead of our refineries just working on whatever's in their order, they'll work on stuff we don't have access to until it's run out of stuff to process. So if I had a bunch of cobalt, magnesium, and platinum in my ship, it would refine the ones that we don't have yet before moving on to the others. All right, but Izzy's does require a couple of LCDs to function properly, so let's set those up too. Okay, we're going to remove that piece of hull over there and put an LCD down right over here. This is going to be the most important one of them all. This is going to be the auto crafting LCD. We name it LCD auto crafting. Okay. And then I'll need another one, which we'll call IIM main. And where are we going to fit this lad? Okay, there we go. There's my auto crafting LCD. Can I fit this up here? No. No. All right, we're going to have to find some alternative positions for some of these. The ship's getting a little cramped, isn't it? What above this door right here? That'll work for now. We only need the two. Okay, nice. And then this one here, we're going to call this IIM-main. And that's just where all of our debug stuff goes. There we go. So you can see that right now if I read this, we've got some ores, some ingots, some components. It's telling me how full my cargo containers are. It's giving me error messages, all that sort of stuff. And then over here, you'll find our auto crafting LCD. So all we do now is we just state how many of each thing we want. So I'll say I want 40 bulletproof glass, 140 computers, we'll say 250 construction components, give me 40 displays, give me sort of 6 gravity generators, that seems fine, and a hand drill, a hydrogen bottle. You know what, keep 2 extra hydrogen bottles on hand. Interior plate, why don't we stock 400? We're going to be doing some big changes next time. Large tubes, give me like 80. Metal grids, give me like 120. For the motors, oh, you always need motors. Give me like 300 motors. Give me 360 small tubes. You know what? Let's go even more. Let's go 520. These are random numbers. We've got 2,000 steel plates. I probably don't need that much. Let's go 1,200. So as we use it, it will catch up. And then for superconductors, we'll just leave that blank for the moment. We can't make it anyway. Now, as you can see, not everything we want is in there, but it is now switched over to the auto crafting mode. So assemblers are waiting on stuff, and they're being assigned to others. If I head over to production, you'll see everything has been queued up just how we wanted it. And there you go. You can see its last action. It moves some small tubes from the assembler to the cargo container. The way it should be. And now, if I have a look at my storage inventories, We've got the flight seat with stuff in it, of course. We need to get that out there at some point. But there you go, components stored in here, ores and ingots stored in here, and nothing in the other two because we don't need them just yet. The script will automatically expand its storage requirements as and when it needs to. Okay, some changes I wanted to make to my toolbar though, before I forget, is to put the H2 thrusters over here as well, so we can turn those off. Also, just a nice way to be like, hey, don't break. Another thing we want to do is get our hydrogen engine on this taskbar, so that we can turn it on and off when we don't need it to be consuming power and we want to stockpile instead. Hydrogen. I've heard that it exists. Aha, there it is. The graphic never quite looks the same. I always feel like it should face the other way so you can actually see the engine block, but whatever. Alright, we should now see the hydrogen amount slowly increase. We do still have... Oh, no, I was too slow. I lost my civilian trader. Oh well, okay. Let's instead go up to our civilian signal over here. And that's where we're going to end up. I will turn off my hydrogen engines because I think they do consume a tiny amount just while they're idling. So let's really start stockpiling, and we should see our hydrogen count go up. And yes, we've gone from 16 minutes of power to 33. So clearly running the engine for a little bit there while we were working was a great idea. Man, the ship really is starting to look significantly more industrial and interesting. It's starting to look, if you'll forgive me, a little bit more fit for purpose. Okay, I think we'll push up to like 130 meters per second. And that's where we'll coast at towards the civilian signal. We'll get there in about 2 minutes, I think, at this rate. Alright, so what am I going to do in the meantime? Well, I'm going to set up more of my auto-crafting. So the way we do this is we put things that the screen does not yet recognize into its inventory. For example, this oxygen bottle. If I just put that in the bottles tab, it will eventually, after the system updates, there we go, it will show up on this screen and I can tell it to maintain a certain number. So now it says it's got an oxygen bottle. Well, let me grab that oxygen bottle and now we should see another one being placed into production. And there it is. That's hydrogen. Hold on. Take me to basic assembler. Ah, there we go. It's trying to make an oxygen one over here. And I think we can say we successfully run a script to manage our inventories. Whoopsie. Let's just move this down here and we'll get a new to-do list next time. We do have a couple of red signals that I'd like to check out before we get too close. Hold on, let's break here. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to get the top thrusters involved too. We'll just get a compound angle here so both of them can work in tandem. And that should slow us down even faster. Now that I've got a place to respawn, oh, you better believe I want to go check out some of these red signals. We're going to check out that assert Skippy over there. If we can capture another ship, oh man, we might be able to sell some of it. I don't think I'm going to take on 2 ships just yet. I think that's a bit too much work. And making these 2 stick together might be kind of tough. Also, what the hell am I looking at over there? Hold on. Where's that laser turret? It does at least allow me to aim the camera a bit more directly. Just show me control. There we go. Press 4 on that. What is... Oh my goodness, we got a derelict station. Oh, I'm so excited to check that out next time. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, and also, I didn't know you could zoom in on this. You just scroll, turns out. Alright, but let's hop out here. I'm going to do something a little ballsy now. And I'm going to drop off my tools. Or at least the drill and the oxygen and hydrogen bottles. We don't need them right now. We're going to make sure that this is set as our respawn point. Transfer to me. Let's go check out Assert Skippy and see if it shoots at us. Oh, well, it's definitely pissed off at us, that's for sure. Okay, I'm sorry. It's also got a giant cannon. It is not firing. Oh, no, it's firing at me. It is very much firing at me. Oh, no. Okay. Get behind it. Let's get a high angle. Maybe we can land on top of that cannon. Okay, give me relative dampening. You know how it is. There we go. It looks like we're outside of its firing arc here. Oh, no. Pull up. It's shooting at me. Okay. It was indeed shooting at me. Now we got this little drone but pestering me over here. Okay, so their little drone is shooting at them, trying to get to me. And, well, tough luck, kiddo. Let's have a look at what we got in here. Hold on, what do you mean deviating from escort to inside hostile entity? You mean me, right? You definitely don't mean my ship, which is, I think, over there. Oh, God, I really hope it's over there. All right, well, let's dig in and find out. Oh, man, he's spinning. Did you see this? Woo! He spun around to throw me off. That's so cool. Oh, and I'm dead. Damn it. Okay. Well, that is because that ship had an AI. That ship had an AI block, so it behaves a lot more intelligently than the other ones. Okay, so now are we now under attack? Hold on. Where was that little ship and its buddies? They were over there, and okay, it does not look like they are closing in on me. This is good. Okay, let's continue. I'm going to turn off the body location. We don't really care about that. Let's grab our drill. We can put that one away for recycling at a later date. There's technically a way to get infinite resources right there, if you didn't know. Not much resources, but, you know, infinite. At least in theory. Okay, we're going to park at the civilian signal, because I'm really hoping that is a trade station. Can I see any more of it just yet? It looks like it's a node of some kind. Let's get closer. Hey! You don't shoot at me, jerk. Okay, I think we'll be okay under our shield. Yeah, you can keep shooting. Yeah, we're out of range now. It's just wasting ammo. Okay. I think we'll be alright. Alright, well, unfortunately, we're going to be in range again pretty soon, because I have to start braking. And we're definitely going to overshoot here, so let's just get another compound brake going. That is something else. I don't know what that is. I'm hoping if we can get close enough to the civilian signal, because it should come with a bubble of non-conflict around it, but they don't always. I mean, yeah, those bullets are just bouncing off the armor. I think we're going to be fine. Although, no, the shield is starting to complain a little. I need to rotate to get the CWS on this thing, don't I? Where are you? I'm cooking you. There we go. Okay, the shield's reacting to it. The laser's cooking him. Okay, this piddly little laser is not, unfortunately, handling it. So I think what I need to do right now is build a Gatling turret to squash this thing and swat it out of the sky. Also, produce me a gun. Make me a gun right now. What can I make? I can make a precision rifle. I need the, what's that? The MR8P. Okay, show me the MR8P rifle ammunition. Okay, there we go. Let's make a few rounds of MR8P rifle and see what we can do with that. Give me the gun. I'm not going to need the drill. I'm definitely going to need this. Okay. Let's go. Lock and load, boys. Is that thing getting through the shield? No, not yet. But it is about to. Do they run out of ammo? I actually have no idea. I'm now realizing. Okay, we need to give us something else to shoot at here. And give me more of that ammo, please. I definitely got the magnesium to do this. Okay, gotta get a little closer. See if we could just get in close enough just to grind him. Oh, this little drone would be so nice. Come on. There we go. We just gotta force ourselves into its frame till we can get away with that node. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay. Whew. It had a warhead that detonated itself, but at least we're not being shot at so much anymore. There are some stray rounds getting a little scarily close, but for the most part, we're okay. Oh, actually, it got through the shield there. Look at this. Ooh, we were starting to take some hits, man. All right, that was a little scary. Well, our first combat survived. Lessons learned, we need more guns on this ship. We need a lot more guns on this ship. Okay, final piece of the puzzle before we wrap it up for today. Where is that civilian signal? Now that we've dealt with our little drone friend, I want to go see what this is about, and then we're going to investigate and scrap that station in the next one, I think. Some kind of beacon, from what I can tell, with some holographic projections around it. And who the hell are you? Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! It's a pirate scout! It's a pirate scout! You have not found my booty! My booty's not yours! You can't have it! Hey! Hey, you piece! Get over here! Get over here! I'm gonna cut you apart! Get over here! I'm gonna get straight down into that. Gotta get down into that timer block, guys. Come on! Cut him! Cut him down! Oh, through the ion thrusters! Come on! Oh, these actually give us thruster components too. These aren't proprietary. There we go. Get the remote control. All right. And if I hack it?
Field initialized.
Looks like I own it now. Okay. If I head over to my... If I turn my signals on... There we go, and I head over to remote access. Hey, I can control the advanced guard. Okay, sick. We have a little ship that we can scrap for parts. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Hey, 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 SPRT, SP1, you leave him alone. You leave him alone, you hear? Okay, listen, turns out the most formidable weapon in the universe is a grinder. I need to get a different gun. This gun's not gonna cut it. Those Gatling guns are gonna shred me. Okay, get down into the AI pilot. Alright, he's gone. What else do we need in here? I need to hack this real quick. Oh man, it would be so good to get access to these remote controls. Alright, the ship's dead, but it's ours. Okay, that ship is not drifting. I'm not drifting. We're not drifting. It's all good. I don't know where we lost that little drone. It was somewhere around here, but we have a lot of stuff to look at tomorrow. Guys, thank you all so much for hanging out tonight. This has been largely Unemployed. We've had a huge amount of fun with this one. This poor ship is taking one hell of a beating for what is effectively a cargo hull that we've turned into a miner ship. What the hell? Cut it out with this! Are you a dud now? Do I just gotta grind down to the reactor? Is that the strat here? Oh, they're ramming ships. I see the problem. They're ramming... Oh, I see what's happening. They're ramming into my shield. Damn stupids. Yeah, they're just smashing themselves to pieces. We can steal a bunch of uranium from these small reactors, though, which is a very tempting to do. Well, it turns out the life of piracy I was worried about was a bit unnecessary because we were kind of living a life of anti-piracy at this point. I mean, I'll take it, don't get me wrong, but this is a little egregious. Alright, there we go. We managed to grind down one of them. I think there's just like a little bit of a gyroscope line over here. And the nice part about this, really, for me, is that we can repurpose some of these. I think I'm going to steal that one that says need help. There we go, because we can just swap out a regular cockpit. What is down there? What? Oh no. Oh no. Hold on, there's something else coming. Oh no. Oh no, please, I'm just trying to do my outro here. Please, just let me be, Space Pirates. I just came to look at the beacon. Oh man, this is turning into a whole lot more than I could chew. Okay, hold on. It's whatever it is down that way, and it's red. Let me orient myself here for a second. I think I'm going to turn this into my little exploration vessel right here, the need help. And I mean, okay, well, chat, there we go. New thing for your comment section. What are we going to name this thing? The need help. What's the name of our next little ship? I'm pretty much going to steal this little fighter, and we're going to use it as is. We'll have to do some upgrades, of course. It's pirate tech, after all. I think we can do a little better. And then we're going to be looking into and scrapping parts of this guy, too. Massive derelict station. Oh, wow, that's going to be fun to explore. And, of course, we still need to work out whatever the hell this is. That's why we're all the way out here, after all. Anyway, everybody, thank you all so much for hanging out today. I've had a lot of fun with Space Engineers in this one, and I'd love to see what we can come up with together for the next one. Until then, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
You made it to the end of the video. Congratulations and thank you. That puts you in the top 3% of viewers. Here's another video that YouTube thinks you're going to like, and here is a list of all the patron and channel member names. If you don't see yours on there, you can find a link down in the description where you can sign up and support this content directly. If your name is on there, well, you probably already know that, huh? So, what are you still doing here?